update with Otto's status for tonight?
Yeah, he's out.
With Otto, is it just lingering foot soreness, or what kind of how was he feeling after, I guess, the exercises you went through after shoot around?
I haven't talked to him or trainers. I just know that he's out.
Mike, I think you've been asked versions of this question a lot, so apologies in advance for throwing it to you this way. But like, what, in your opinion, is the substantive impact of a couple of days ago when you learned that Steve's out, when you're taking this seat, and you know the group so well, but now the seat changes, the voice changes. You know, is there a benefit to a couple of days later, everybody recalibrating and getting used to you being in that seat again, or do you think it's much ado about nothing? How do you see that?
Yeah,
transition?
I have kind of alluded to this a little bit. Before when I took over, it was a little easier from the standpoint that I was on both sides of the ball, during practices and whatnot, because Jaron Collins had the defense. This is the first year I had defense, and so I was locked in on that side of the ball. I mean, you guys have been to plenty of games. You see, I don't even go to the huddles during the game because I'm talking defense right away the whole time and I have no clue what Steve wants to do offensively or as ATOs, but Kenny and Q-Dog do, and so for me, more than anything else, it's just been trying to get caught up to speed, and in a couple of days on that side of the ball. I said this earlier. I keep giving my Toreros a shout out every time you guys want to ask me that question, but I feel like I'm back in my USD, University of San Diego days, cramming for an exam. And so, as the days go along, you feel a little bit more comfortable and you feel like you can help them a little bit more. And hopefully it shows on the court, but it is different, a lot different for me in the past when I took over because of that.
Hey, Mike, obviously you guys are here on this stage, but I was wondering, going into the year, what were your expectations, like how the team would be able to blend like the championship tested players along with the young players that you guys have, and how have you seen that play out?
But, you got to give Steve a lot of credit, man. He just seems to have a formula every year for the right combinations to throw out there and help these guys grow to a point where they can compete at this point in the year. You give him credit, and you got to give our veterans a lot of credit that have been through it, and obviously Bob and the guys that they're drafting and bringing in as free agents. So, the sky's always the limit here. You always expect to be able to compete for a championship, especially when you have the DNA or the makeup of Draymond, Andre, Malone, Steph, and Clay on board, because they've experienced it not once, not twice, but multiple times. And so that was our expectations, but you never know, because it's going to be different with the new faces, and you just hope for the best, and you hope guys can grow quicker than normally. And these guys have stepped up and at least given us a chance so far.
Mike, with Otto out, he's been a pretty reliable vet for you guys. Where do you go to try and fill that void?
Well, I said this earlier today. We can go to Belly. We can go to, we can play Loon more. We can go to JK. We started JK in the last 2-3 games. We can go to Moses. I mean, we feel like we have a deep team, and we have had a lot of different guys step up throughout the course of the year and fill in admirably. So, it is tough, but, we've said this in the past before, next man up.
Loon has been one of the top rebounders in the league in this postseason. With Steven Adams now making an impact out there, does that change the usage for Kevon at all, or the minutes or anything?
We got to try to get him on the floor a little bit more. He's obviously not just because he can rebound, but he's made plays for us offensively as a screener and a roller, and he's been doing that the whole year. So yeah, to have a big body, I guess you would lose probably 5 inches shorter, maybe 100 pounds lighter than Steven Adams. But for us, that's a big body. To have a big body out there to help out every once in a while. Yes, we got to try to figure out ways to keep him on the floor and help us out. I was like, "Is it?" Thank you, guys.